Good morning, friends. So we are here at JJ Mall eating lunch on a Friday, and we get our usual here, which is my usual crispy pork with egg and white rice.
And my usual omelette rice. And it's hard to show you, but this is the clear soup with vegetable and tofu.
So today's just a regular weekend day, and we thought about making a video about us how we met in the U.S. So we were thinking about explaining that. First of all, I was born in Mexico and I moved to the U.S. when I was 9. And you were how old when you moved to the U.S.?
Oh, I'm not gonna disclose my
Oh,
age, sorry. But
okay.
I was born in Japan and moved to the United States 34 years ago. I went
34
to
years ago.
Yep, I went to college in US and all that, and I got a job right after college. Actually, I was married to someone else before, and I have a son. He is 26 years old, and I have two grandchildren, 1 year old and 5 months old. They live in Alaska. My son is in the Air Force, so they live in Alaska right now.
Yeah.
And we met over 9 years ago in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, we met in a salsa club, which is a club that I visited for like, I think like 2 years straight, maybe. For me and my wife, since once in a lifetime meeting her because she said she's never been to that club before, and the reason I guess she recently moved to Dallas, and me living close to Dallas, I was a frequent like person that went to that club with my friend, and it was just one of those nights we met. Um, I think my friend met her friend, and they were dancing, and that's how we met each other through them. So that was like 9 years ago.
So I lived in Kentucky um, before I moved to Dallas. So I got transferred to Dallas. My office has moved from Kentucky to Dallas, so that's how I moved to Dallas. A couple months after I moved to Dallas, my friend invited me to go see the salsa dance because we had never seen people dancing salsa. Hey, we're from Kentucky, right? So I got curious. So me and my friend went to this salsa club just to watch people dance. To me, it was quite interesting because most of the customers were Hispanic. Where I was from in Kentucky, like 95% of the population was Caucasian. So I had never seen that many Hispanic people to begin with. So I was very
Yeah.
interested and intrigued about how well they were dancing and they were happy at the club.
And I think you told me that you were the one who saw me first. I saw you.
No, I didn't see you.
I don't know if you saw me. I don't know who saw who first, but she recalls later that she saw me smiling and having a happy face, like just standing next to my friend watching. So when I go to the club, I'm not nervous, but it does help to have a little bit of to drink. So I guess I was like one or two drinks already, just to get the feel of the music. That's how I usually. I feel like there's like a depth when you drink. You feel more happy, more sociable. So I had already like two drinks, and maybe I was loosening up, being less nervous, more confident. And I think she saw me, and I think I met her through her friend. They were dancing, and then I just introduced myself to her, and I remember that day, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna practice my Japanese, so I just my usual basic sentences. How are you? Konnichiwa. My name is Watashi wa AJ des. And she like talked to me back, and we didn't dance. I actually danced with her friend, and I guess her friend left off for the night, and I just left of the night, not thinking anything about it. But I think a few days later, maybe, my friend was texting me saying, "Hey, do you remember that girl I met?" I said, "Yeah." Oh well, she has a friend that saw you at the party at the club. She wants to talk to you. Can I give her your number? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I wasn't thinking about anything like, oh, this can go somewhere. Actually, I kept my hopes down. Like, she was pretty, but I'm just gonna okay. We'll in exchange now text messages, and that's how we kind of started developing from there.
Okay, so the problem was there was a problem. When I met him, I thought he was in his like early 30s or something, like 32, 33. So I'm like, hey, maybe the age wise, it's okay for us to, start talking. But then through our text messages, I found out he was like 25
Yeah,
and he was a lot younger than me. So it kind of turned me off.
I
'Cause
noticed.
Right. So yeah, you noticed. So at the time, I had a son who was 17 years old. He was 17. So I had a 17-year-old son, and when I'm thinking like, why am I talking to a boy that is like close to my son's age? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested. But we already set up the date, group date actually, four of us to go meet for dinner. So I'm like, I'm not gonna cancel it last minute just because I found out he was that young. I'm like, I'm just gonna spend like 2 hours with this young boy. I'm just gonna tell him, hey, finish college, whatever. I
Yeah,
felt like I was
adult
gonna.
figure.
Well, I felt like I was gonna go meet this young boy who's like my son or something. So I'm like, I'm just gonna spend 2 hours. I already told them I was coming, so I can't really cancel myself. So I went there thinking I'm just gonna spend 2 hours with him and lecture him to finish college because he was in college at the time.
Yeah.
That was our first group date.
Yeah, prior to the date, um, we were talking, and I guess when I revealed my age, I didn't realize because when I met her, even now, I don't think about an age gap at all. But when I met her, I thought she was my equal, my same age group. So when I revealed my age, I didn't think anything about it. But I didn't notice you weren't ghosting me, but the frequency of the text messages slowed down so much. And then I thought this day is not gonna happen. And I kept my hopes down, like, okay, if I'm not gonna meet her because she's not responding as much, that's okay. I don't care. I'm just texting. So if the date wasn't gonna happen because she canceled, it was gonna be a double date. So my
Right.
friend I told my friend, hey,
Right.
she's not responding as much, so I'm not gonna go as a third wheel to this double date. I'm not gonna go, and I wasn't gonna go. I'm like, I don't have to go. So, yeah, it would have been possible if she canceled. I would have not, it wasn't going to be likely. I wasn't going to go. So I wouldn't be here right now, I think.
So the only reason I went was because I already told my friend that I was gonna drive, and I'm like, I can't cancel on her. She's, already expecting me to pick her up. So I'm like, it's okay. But
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in this young boy at all.
No,
Why would I date a child, right?
25-year-old child. So yeah, whenever I heard she was going to go, but she didn't say it, but I had a feeling. But eventually, I think she came through and said, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, then I'll go.
Hey, I was a designated driver. I have to go.
And we ended up meeting in McKinney on some bar.
Yeah, McKinney, Texas.
Yeah, so we met in McKinney, Texas, in this one of those local bars, and I think we hit it off. We were talking, like my friend was with her friend across from us, and I was next to her. So she said that I kept staring at her legs. She was wearing like a skirt, so I couldn't avoid not looking at her legs.
Yeah, when I got up to go to the bathroom, I saw him looking at my legs, like really hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's like staring at my legs. It's kind of creepy.
I should be more discreet, but maybe it was too intense. But up to that point, I never had any dates or interactions with a Japanese girl. I always had a thing for Japanese Asian girls. But Mimi next to me was like, was a big deal. Like I was feeling like I was melting. I was like overexcited because that's what I always wanted, and it was happening live. So maybe that's why I couldn't be as discreet. And the funny part about that date or double date is that she at the beginning she said I have to leave around 6 or 7.
Yeah, like after 2 hours, I was gonna get out of
I'm
there.
like, that's fine when she arrived. And then I noticed through the day it was already getting closer to 6. I might have mentioned, hey, don't you have to go? I don't know if I did, but I realized, hey, she's not leaving. I think we were having a great time that she didn't need to leave anymore. Yeah.
And then on our first double date, he said, "Oh, I'm like 26 or 25. I'm ready to get married and have kids." That's what he said. So I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Because at the time, I was already to the point that I will not be able to have a kid. I already had a 17-year-old son, and my age, I wasn't young enough to conceive. So I'm like, whatever, you know. I don't think I'll ever see him again anyway. But he has a pretty face, so I was enjoying looking at his pretty face. And he was talking a lot
Oh yeah.
to entertain us. So I'm like, oh, he's
I'm not a
fun.
big talker, honestly.
But he tried very hard.
But I try to keep like a good mood, and I think looking back when I said I want to have kids and I'm ready, it was from a status quo feeling. I don't think that was my internal desire. I mean, if I were to have a kid, I'll be happy, but it's not something I seek deeply. But when I said it was one of those status quo, like people just say things that they seem like it's the right thing to say. But I mean, I don't think about it as much. But when I said that, I think she must have been afraid. Oh no, I can't have kids. Even though it was the first day, we don't know what was going to happen the next day.
No, actually, I already knew I wasn't going to see you again. Why would I date a 25-year-old kid?
Yeah.
I was already in my 40s.
So then after that bar, we went together. We went outside. So this was around October. It's kind of cold. And I thought she was feeling a little like she was feeling cold. So I tried to put my arm around her like to keep her warm. But I guess that was too overbearing. Like maybe I jumped a boundary.
Oh my God.
And she told me maybe later, hey, that felt like not cringy, but like goosebumps because I put my arm around her like this. And I guess it is, looking back, it is kind of weird maybe to do that on the first day, but I'm not like doing anything. I'm just putting my arm around you.
Yeah, it
This
was creepy.
cold.
I'm like, oh my gosh, he's touching me. Stop it.
Yeah. But after that day, no, during that same day, we went to smoke hookah.
No,
And- or
we went to
ate.
eat dinner.
I think we went to eat dinner first, I think. And then we went to smoke hookah after that. And then things developed from there. That's how it worked out.
Things developed from there. And on the third date, he already told me that he was never gonna let me go. He's gonna hold on to me for the rest of his life. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. He's not gonna let me go. But he told me by the third date he knew that he wanted to be with me forever. Why?
Because you came to my house to visit me like a few weeks later, and then I asked you to be my girlfriend, and you say yes, and I was in shock that she said yes. Because I was thinking, she's not gonna say yes to me, but she was like interested in me as much as I was in her. So I guess because I felt lonely and I always wanted to marry a Japanese girl, and I felt like I had a strong connection. I wanted to like be more serious. I just felt like through my history of dating people, I felt like this is the best person to me. This is like the peak of the mountain. This is the limit. If I don't get with this person. There's nobody else better than her. That's what I thought in my brain. And in my heart, I felt like this is it. So I knew this was had to be done. That I wanted to be with you. So, so I think we got married a year.
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
After we met.
Which I don't know if it's too soon. People marry within 3 months, a year sometimes.
We got married like 10 or 11 months after we met.
Yeah.
But this is wrong, but I didn't tell my friends I got married. It's not my first marriage. Plus, if I tell everybody that I'm marrying this guy who's super much younger than me, 18 years younger than me, I knew everybody was gonna say, "Don't do that." You know,
Yeah.
he's just using you for whatever reason. That's why I knew my friends were gonna say
Give you
no.
negative
Right,
feedback.
right, negative feedback. I knew they were gonna say like, look for somebody that is like you know, age group or whatever. That's why I did not tell anybody I got married.
Yeah.
So when they found out later, they were like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't know you were married."
They didn't know, but we have
Right.
pictures and we were together on social media, or they knew we were always together.
Right. But it was after the fact, so of course nobody said like, "Oh, you need to divorce it." Nobody said that because it was after the fact.
Yeah.
What I liked about him was his work ethic and the value. He's a very good guy. He doesn't lie. He's very honest, and I think his mother taught him very well. He takes good care of me,
Yeah.
and he gives me unconditional love. And we pretty much accepted each other as who we are. You know, we have weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah. And what I love about my wife is that she's beautiful. She looks like my age or younger. She's very sociable. She's a big problem solver. She's very intelligent when it comes to travel and figuring out when there's an issue financially or an issue with when we move to a new location. She's very smart, so she can always put her brain and together and figure issues out. And she always like pushes me to explore new things in life, like the food, the travel. Like if we do like a new activities because she brought it up, so she's always bringing new things to explore. And she has helped me tremendously in life. So I wouldn't be here in Thailand if it wasn't for her.
So before I met him, he had never flown in an airplane. He didn't go to restaurant much. He said he has never gone to the zoo as a child, or
Yeah.
he never just basically didn't travel. He just stayed inside of his Mexican community, lived like a Mexican person in the community, which there's nothing wrong with it. Don't take me wrong. But that was his life before. He was pretty much sheltered within his own community. But after he met me, I started taking him to travel, to try different food, different activities. When I heard that he had never been to the zoo when he was a child, I felt like it's my mission to give him all the experiences that he should have had as a child. So I wanted to it's kind of like I wanted to give him a good childhood. Even though he's an adult,
Yeah.
I felt like I want him to experience what life is about, to see
Yeah.
different things, to experience many different things, to travel all over the world. So since we got married, we traveled everywhere in the world, literally.
Yeah.
So many countries in Europe, Asia, Mexico, all over United
Yeah.
States.
Yeah, growing up in my family, I think my dad was a good provider, but that's a provider. But we never like venture out. We never went to like Dallas from our hometown. We didn't go like restaurants, and I hear my friends going to Six Flags or going to the movies. and me and my sister never went there. I don't know. It's like we're not having the worst life, but we also are not having the experience of other kids in my age group that go out and do trips and travel. Yeah, I had to travel a lot since I met you. Yeah, I was a foreign mentality, had to travel by plane. It felt like scary or difficult to figure out at the beginning.
So, all in all, we are from a totally different side of the world. The way we were raised, whatever, what we ate as a child, whatever, everything about us is complete opposite. But for some reason, we get along so well. We hardly ever fight or argue. We never raise our voice. In general, I think we are both very calm, tame people.
Yeah.
We don't have hot temper. So,
Yeah, it has worked out. It has been like a peaceful transition, I think, because we mostly agree on what to do. I always feel like maybe there could be a leader and a follower. She's more like a leader on aspects of activities. Sometimes I am, but she's mostly leading on where to go or travel. And I'm open-minded. I always feel like give it a chance. Try something new. Don't automatically deny something or reject something. Like if you want to go to a different beach resort or hotel, I always like let her do the decisions because I always have a great time, and I'm glad I did. She has more experience with travel, but overall, we always like do our own thing together. Like she likes volleyball. I'm not a big fan of volleyball, but I don't mind, and it's fun because if it wasn't her, I would never gone to a volleyball game. So the little things like I like flea markets, and she never. I don't know if you were into flea markets before. Now you like them because you saw this other world in life. So we always share these things from our own communities, and we enjoy the same thing. So yeah, so I think that's why it works out because
yeah.
we're minded on what try new things.
Us being from a totally different culture and background, people might think, oh my gosh, it must be hard to meet each other in the middle.
Yeah,
But actually, for some strangest reason, everything we like match. What I like, he likes.
yeah,
Food, activities,
yeah.
everything. So we never fight. We're always like having fun, joking around.
Yeah, I have got so comfortable with her that we act silly around the house, like we pretend our dog is a baby, or we speak little silly things. And I guess when you're a couple for so long, you develop your own internal dialect. Like we can be in public and say some word that doesn't make sense to the public, but it means something to us. So I guess we embedded each other. We became one.
Yeah. I definitely feel like he's my soulmate. But let's say he's 18 years younger than me. So if somebody told me like 20 years ago, hey, you're gonna marry a girl, marry a guy who's that much younger than you, I would be like, get out of here,
Yeah.
Why would I marry somebody from a different culture and different age group, different background, totally different background?
Yeah.
I would have just laughed at that.
And like I said, age gap, I just don't think about it right now. I don't feel nothing. Like, do I think she's like close to my mom's age? Not at all. Do I think anything like that? No, I think she is my equal, like same age. So we have the same physical stamina. We walk so much. We've been doing hiking, and the crazy hiking we've done is what is it called? Santorini.
Greek island of
Greek
Santorini.
island, which basically is this. We like walked half over the island, and she didn't pass out, and I didn't pass out. We had water, thankfully, and apples. So yeah, we're physically at the same level still, and we always like, or you're always working out, and she works out, so I work out. She's more disciplined. That's what I'm trying to do this year. Become more disciplined on working out, on traveling, saving money, trying new things. So she's very disciplined. So that's something I appreciate about you.
Yeah. Me being from Japan, Japanese people are very disciplined.
Yeah,
Um, they're very polite. There are a lot of good things about Japanese people. So I'm so glad I went to like school in Japan so I can learn their awesome value in my life.
yeah.
And it's benefiting us tremendously in our life together.
Yeah, you gotta have discipline, and if I watch you, you be disciplined, or if I watch you be a clean person, like organizing, keeping that area uncluttered, it kind of rubs on you. It kind of becomes, you see it, and then you want to be the same person. So she's cleaning. I also clean my station where I work, my desk, organizing my clothes more. It's infectious in a good way.
Yeah.
It kind of, you watch somebody do something, so you do it too. It's kind of like a positive reaction.
And as I mentioned yesterday, I had worked for this one company for a long time and I took an early retirement sort of.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of retired already at this age. He's too young to be retired though. He's very young.
Yeah.
But him being a good sport, he agreed to come to Thailand with me and retire with me. Lucky
Yeah.
him, right? He doesn't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, that's something that doesn't happen. I
Yeah.
think now looking at my Facebook friends, looking at my sister, everybody work from 6 to 5
Or
9 to
overtime.
10. Yeah, it's a miracle that I was able to figure it out. Well, I didn't figure it. She figured it out. This I call it a life hack. I still work. Obviously, I don't have to work a schedule. I can work anytime online, but it's a miracle that I'm able to live here and don't having to work on a company. You gotta wear a uniform. So she has a life hack. She came. I think we were planning for 30 years or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I was planning on my retirement over 30 years.
Yeah.
And so I made it happen.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. I'm benefited from her from own planning intelligence.
But when I met him though, and when I married him, I was thinking, well, my retirement plan fell apart because he's 18 years younger than me.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be in a retirement age until I die. I'm dead. When he's in his retirement age, I'll be in my 80s or whatever. I might be dead. So I'm like, where is my life going now? But my determination and
Yeah.
desire to retire early was way too strong, and I planned it all along financially.
Yeah.
So I decided to take him with me.
Yeah. There's no way I was gonna let you go without me. Too.
Right, exactly.
There were some premature plans before I jumped all in on this plan that she was gonna move here. It was kind of like a little draft. Like she was gonna live 6 months abroad, maybe 9 so I can work. The second phase was she was gonna come here and live here for 6 months and do a retirement visa so she can bring me. And the final draft, which is what we're doing now, is that I quit my job and I rented my house and we move in together, which is the best plan because the first two I never liked, but I felt like it wasn't gonna happen. But little by little, I noticed she was very serious. So I thought, hey, there's no way I'm gonna let her go without me. No way. So I quit my job, which I wasn't a fan of. It made its needs. It paid well. They're very generous. It's a great company, but you still have to deal with the schedule and other little knickknacks in the office. So people know how that goes. So when she said I'm serious about moving, is when I said I guess I'll quit, and I can always come back. That's what I always tell myself. Right now, I'm happy in telling that. I feel like I can be here like 10 years, and from there, maybe another 10 years. We don't know yet.
We don't know what's
gonna
gonna
happen.
bring us in the future, but for now, we're pretty happy in Thailand.
Yeah.
Yep,
You have the motto or your saying every day is Sunday.
yep. Every day is Sunday.
Eat out like you see every single day.
Yeah,
And this is not even expensive at all.
it's $2 per person.
$2 per person. So,
Yeah, our US dollar goes a long way.
yeah. So I'm very blessed to have my wife supporting me in traveling this far and doing a retirement early for me because I never even thought about retirement.
He retired when he was 35.
Yeah.
Who can retire that early, right?
I don't think I could have ever come up with this life hack. Or I don't think it's possible without her. So being here is because of you. It's one of those
Yeah. So that's our story.
things. Yeah, that's our story. And pretty soon we're gonna do more videos about other topics. And we're gonna go to Joaquin next
Yeah.
week. So Joaquin Beach, Thailand.
Yeah. And then we're planning on traveling all over the world.
Yes. I'm gonna go back to Europe, fix, and
Yeah.
other Southeast Asia countries.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for watching our video, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Okay. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.
Have a great day. Bye bye.